Veterans transitioning into civilian life face many challenges, one of which is finding gainful employment once they leave the military. Hi, I'm Montel, and welcome to this edition of Military Makeover, Operation Career. Today, we have 4 inspirational stories of veterans who have reinvented themselves and are thriving at companies who value their unique experience and professionalism. First up is Quest Diagnostics, one of the go-to medical testing labs for hospitals and physicians here in the United States. They recognize the valuable skills and expertise these veterans have to offer.
We're in Tampa, Florida, visiting the National Operations Center of Quest Diagnostics. As the go-to lab for half the hospitals and physicians in the United States, Quest provides lab testing services to 1 in 3 adult Americans each year. Whether you walk through the doors of a Quest Patient Service Center or have your blood collected at your doctor's office, chances are Quest has processed, tested, and provided you and your doctor valuable health results. Quest Diagnostics proudly supports the men, women, and families returning to civilian life after serving in all branches of the United States Armed Forces. We'll first learn about the career that veteran Mandel Jackson has built for himself at Quest.
I've been working at Quest for just over 10 years. I'm responsible for neurogenetics, neuroimmunology, for the most part, anything that has to do with movement, illnesses that impact movement and cognition. One thing that you get a lot of in the military is ambiguity. That really helps me here at Quest, dealing with the unknown and having to figure out a way to effectively lead people while you do not know everything. It takes patience and calm and faith. I have 2 daughters. One is a freshman in college. One graduates high school this year. If I'm not at work, I am probably with my daughters. I served in the Army and the Navy. At that point, the Army had the GI Bill, so I used that to pay my way through school. I joined the Navy after earning an engineering degree. Next thing you know, I was going to Naval Officer Candidate School, realizing very quickly that I loved it, never looked back. I was a surface warfare officer. I served in San Diego, Long Beach, went to the Gulf, came back to Long Beach. My last job in the military was base closing officer for the Long Beach Naval Station. And it was at that point that I decided it was time for me to do something else.
My name is Jennifer Martinez. I work for Quest Diagnostics. I'm employed to lead and drive our inclusion and diversity strategy. Through our veterans employees, we get a sense of commitment and purpose that can't be found anywhere else. The more of that we can bring to Quest, the better we'll be for it. We have such an array of opportunities. If you were med tech, we have a role for you. If you were infantry, we have a role for you. And we'll work with you to make sure that we maximize that transfer of skill set.
Autumn Church served as military police for the Army before discovering Quest Diagnostics at a hiring fair in Tampa. She joined the company in 2014, recently celebrating her 6th anniversary with Quest.
I was in active duty for 5 years, and then I transitioned over to the reserves for a couple of years. While I was on active duty, I was customs inspection and black market investigation for a year, and then when I transitioned back over to the States, I was in a combat MP unit, so we would train and we would deploy. Now I manage the National Logistics Operations Center in Tampa. I stay with Quest because I have an opportunity to grow and to be mentored. When you're creating a plan for a mission, you always consider what risks are you going to face and how do you mitigate those risks. When I say it's transferable from the military into the civilian life, it is transferable from the military into the civilian life. The things that you are trained to do that you don't even realize you do transfer so well. I co-lead the Veteran Employee Business Network, and one of the goals that we have, first, to hire veterans, second, to retain veterans, third, to grow veterans. So that hiring phase, we need to get out there. We need to get to those tables. We need to talk to these veterans. Veterans can ping ideas and thoughts off of each other. We have a page where we put all of the information in case you need to get a hold of different parts of the VA or vet centers. The suicide rate for veterans is extremely high. You know, they talk about 22 a day. That scares me and that hurts me because some of my closest friends have been part of that 22. You have such a sense of purpose when you're in the military. When you come into the civilian world, you feel like you lose that sense of purpose. When I came to Quest, when I started realizing how important the work that we do here was, and that every single specimen, every single blood sample is a life, and everything that we do is important to that life, that's my sense of purpose.
Quest admires the strong commitment and sense of purpose veterans display throughout their military career.
Every specimen is a life. That blood test might have been my niece.
What I love about Quest and the purpose is it's about quick, accurate, reliable results. I love that.
A family-owned business, Michels has become one of the largest, most diversified utility contractors in North America. They are a veteran-friendly place to work, which values the strong leadership, skills, character, and ethics that people develop while serving our country.
What do the following have in common? A freeway, pipelines, your internet connection, and even the lights in your home. They all have Michels as the team behind it. Michels is a contracting and construction company that's been building the backbone of America since 1959. That includes transportation infrastructure like roads and bridges, energy infrastructure, which includes pipelines and solar farms, and communications infrastructure, the cell towers and fiber optics we use to talk to each other. The company is family-owned and operated. Tim Michels is a second-generation owner and a second generation of military veterans.
My father served in the U.S. Army during the Korean War era. He was actually over in Germany, and he loved his time in the Army. He loved his service, and really he brought the culture of military service to Michels. Very defined chain of command, discipline, regimented, and really today that is still our culture here at Michels, and it permeates throughout our entire organization.
My name is Mel Maher, and I'm the benefits supervisor here at Michels Corporation. I've been in the military since 2009 in the Air National Guard. I am in an admin career field, and I've been in 4 different shops and also on a deployment. I think working at a place like Michels, to me, it comes down to the core values, and the core values aligning between the military and Michels is huge for me.
The same can be said for Pat Herzog, a 21-year veteran of the Marine Corps Reserves, with a similar tenure at Michels. Pat is currently the Vice President of Michels Pipe Services Division.
The core values that were instilled in me in the Marine Corps are really supported and reinforced here by a family-run company, and they're led by example from the top down. We don't just talk about integrity and teamwork and camaraderie and decisiveness as buzzwords. We live them every day here.
Michels also emulates the military culture in other noticeable ways. One is the opportunity for growth and leadership.
We have a Michels University here and a lot of experienced people that are always training and growing and promoting from within. I've had the luxury of being in a couple different divisions already.
Michels has invested in me with leadership training, and Michels and the military both have that as their values.
Far and away, our best type of growth is organic growth, promoting people from within. So we need to train our own folks to help them grow and become better managers. And when the military helps give them leadership training, it really benefits them as a person, and it benefits Michels Corporation as our company continues to grow. 100% absolute support of our veterans, especially if they're getting deployed. We are there for them all the way through and through. They know that when they come back that they'll have their job here.
There's a lot of military members in the company, Mel being one of them, and I'm just really impressed and really supportive of the support the family shows to people who are still active in the military.
So what people say they love about Michels is we're this big company with a lot of opportunity for them to grow professionally and personally. We work all four corners and everywhere in between the United States, from Maine to Miami to San Diego to Seattle and up into Canada. If geographically you want to work somewhere on the East Coast or the West Coast, we can give you that opportunity.
It's a very exciting place to work. Things are always changing and moving and getting better.
It's a strong and reputable and established company, so it's just a good place to work where success comes and the family's taken care of.
Hunt provides over 52,000 homes for military personnel and their families in 49 communities across the country. So they, more than many, know how the skills and capabilities learned in the armed forces can benefit their organization. Take a look at this.
My name is Cameron Ibarra, and I am the training manager for Hunt Military Communities. My husband, John, was in the Army for 26 years. When you're a military spouse, you're sacrificing too. And so when my husband decided to retire from the Army, it was scary. It was really scary going from what we knew in the military to the civilian world. So for a career in military housing, you still have that relatability. So I started in military housing in 2002, and in 2016 is where I discovered and started working for Hunt Military Communities.
My name is Jim Curtis. I'm the National Director of Maintenance for Hunt Military Communities. My father had been in the military for 26 years as a United States Marine. I joined the military when I was 17 years old. Right out of high school, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So this was a logical next step for me with the history of my family. The deployment that meant the most to me was when we deployed to Iraq with the 2nd Marine Division out of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I'd been in the Marine Corps for 25 years and had not seen combat. It didn't even feel real at first. But after a while, it did feel real when you saw what happened on a day-to-day basis with your fellow Marines, sailors, airmen. And then when you left it, you felt like you left a part of you over there. I came back and I spent another couple years on active duty at Camp Lejeune as their facilities chief. I got a call from a recruiter that told me that there was an opportunity at Hunt. They were looking for a maintenance director out there, that this was a great family company, that they cared about their people. I looked into it and I thought this really aligns with what I'm trying to do to continue serving the people that serve us.
Hunt Military Communities is the largest privatized military housing company in the country. We serve 165,000 residents across the nation, and we have 49 installations across every branch of service. We're in a partnership with the military, and it is an important partnership. They're looking out for the resident. That's their role. And so we're here to partner with them to let them know that we have the best interest of our service members in mind in everything we do.
If you're transitioning from the military, Hunt is a great place to work. We're a tight family. You have a chance to give back to the military and continue to serve those families. Hunt values that. We value your leadership. We value your honesty and your integrity and the compassion that we know that you'll bring to the families that live in our homes.
I'm so proud to be a military spouse. I'm proud to work for Hunt Military Communities. I'm proud that we are impacting lives.
Every day we come to work trying to make a difference in someone's life, and our culture is that everyone has the authority to do the right thing in this company.
At Hunt Military Communities, we're serving the men and women who serve.
The California Water Service Group is dedicated to empowering our veterans. They value the former service men and women's unique abilities and respect the discipline with which they do their jobs.
Over 70% of Earth is covered in water, but only 1/2 of 1% is available for us to drink. With world populations exploding, it's a challenge meeting the growing needs of a thirsty planet. California Water Service Group is meeting that challenge every day.
Our mission at California Water Service Group is to provide high-quality service of water and wastewater to our customers. We take well over close to 500,000 samples a year throughout our system.
When I started with Washington Water, started out as a meter reader and then went to operations. I purchase all the large components for our underground and construction. It's a weird title because you do so many things in regards to it, which is fun. I love it.
I'm a superintendent with California Water Service Company. I've been with the company for 9 years. The primary responsibilities is to ensure the delivery of safe drinking water. We also maintain the infrastructure and as well as install and update existing infrastructure.
I chose Cal Water because it was a great utility to work for. I wanted to get in the customer service side of that with the utility, working for, the greater good.
I joined the military when I was 17 years old. I elected to join the United States Navy Seabees. The Seabees is a construction battalion.
I applied to the Army when I was 17. I had to wait till I was 18 to actually go in because my parents would not sign. They thought I was crazy. They did not think a woman should go in the military at all.
I actually went into the Marine Corps right after high school. I went from 2002 to 2006. During that time, I had a tour in Afghanistan, and we went to Iraq as well. Sometimes we saw some, it's kind of hard to get into, but some things that were
we have, integrity, being detailed, having a mission. What I found in the transition between my military career and our core values is they're very similar.
Cal Water has made it a central mission to attract and keep veterans just out of the military. But for many, the transition back to civilian life can be jarring.
When I left the military, I had that difficulty where I didn't have any direction on what I wanted to do or what I wanted to accomplish. I had a little bit of a rough time.
For myself, it was an easy transition. I was able to adapt to the values of the company. The culture is amazing.
It was tough because you didn't have that structure. You didn't have somebody waking you up every morning to go to PT. It was very easy to get lax on that in regards to maintaining yourself.
The veterans that come aboard with California Water Service Group, they bring a strong work ethic, extremely hardworking, committed. They want to learn and grow with the company as well.
My military experience brought me the structure I needed to run my department. I love the people that I work with.
I was part of a union, so when I first started as a customer service rep, it was really a great opportunity to work with my union members. If you're put in a position where you just needed a little bit of assistance, Cal Water will provide that assistance, but we also look out for each other. So a lot of the union personnel still continues to do that and practice that, and as a supervisor who's kind of rose through the rank, I actively encourage it. We make sure that we consistently have a one-team approach. Cal Water has done a lot of steps to reach out to veterans because we're all over the place.
A company like ours that is structured, we have a mission, we have great goals that we follow annually. This would be a great career for any veteran.
It's reassuring to know that after sacrificing so much during military service, our veterans are able to find gainful opportunities at companies like these who offer fulfilling new careers. I'm Montel. Thanks so much for joining us today on this episode of Military Makeover Operation Career. We'll see you next time.